Hey guys, I just came back from a very successful hunting trip in Texas. I used two new products that I've never used before, but I was so happy, so thrilled with their performance that I thought, you know what, I think the public needs to know about these products. So I took some footage that I wanted to share with you. So if you're on the fence and you're thinking about purchasing these two items, here's some footage so you know what to expect. Here they are. So the first little doohickey is right in here. It is the Rix, I think I'm pronouncing that correctly, the Rix Pocket K2 thermal monocular. So I'm not going to go into the details as far as the specs or what it comes with. There's other YouTube videos out there. What I found to be valuable as I'm watching YouTube videos is actual footage of the product being used, not necessarily the specs. So that's what I want to focus on today's video. So just wanted to show you what it looks like and how I use it before we dive into the footage. So if you haven't night hunted before, you have your firearm or you have your air rifle or whatever your weapon is, you got it right here, you're sitting on a blind, you're either making calls or you're waiting for an animal to come through. Well, you typically have either a night vision or a thermal scope on your weapon, and if that's all you got, every time you want to scan, you have to pick up the firearm or the weapon and you have to kind of scan, move it left and right, and you're probably going to be doing that every 5 to 10 minutes, and that gets tedious. That I don't like doing it. So I looked into a monocular, and specifically a thermal monocular. And now the way I used it on my Texas hunt is I had my firearm, or air gun in this case. I had my air gun here with me, and whenever I wanted to scan, I would turn on the unit using this button right here, and then I just pulled it up and I just scanned going like this. So way easier than picking up the firearm and moving it around, banging it on either in the blind or up against brush, depending on my setup. So that's how I used it. Take a look at some of the footage. Tell me what you think. Alright, so in this part of the video, we're doing something a little different. About 35 yards, I had a deer do its business right in front of me. And obviously that has its own heat signature. So I started filming, and I want you to pay attention to the time. It took about 10 minutes from when she dropped her stuff down on the ground all the way to where the monocular couldn't pick up the heat signature anymore, and that was roughly about 10 minutes. Now, why that was important to me is if I'm either predator hunting or doing any sort of hunting and I want to use a thermal monocular to find a blood trail or to help me find a blood trail, I want to see how long I have that little window before the blood loses its heat signature. So I found it to be about 10 minutes, which was vital information to me, but I want you guys to take a look at it and see what you guys think. Okay, so in the next part of the video, I'm sitting right next to my buddy who has a whitetail buck tag, and a cull buck walks in. Beautiful buck, big bodied, just genetics wasn't there. But he was more than happy to take this one. The shot was about a 24-yard shot. I was so bothered that I couldn't record it because it was an awesome shot on a prototype product I'll share in the future with you, but I was having the technical difficulties and I couldn't record it. But I want to share with you is I think it was about 2.5 hours to 3 hours later after the shot was taken right at dusk. We decided to get out of the blind already. We weren't going to do any more hunting, and then we go check out or go look for this buck, and I use the thermal monocular to help us look for it. So it's pitch black. We know that the deer ran into some thickets, and that was about it. So take a look at how I use the thermal monocular. Again, keep in mind this is 2.5 to 3 hours after he's been shot, and I wanted to see, was there still going to be enough heat signature for the monocular to pick it up. I was shocked. It was awesome on how I used it. Take a look. And I'm not seeing anything. Oh, I got a heat signature right here. Let's go check it out. Yep. Everything's prickly here, all these bushes. Got cactus. Oh heavens. I think I got it. There's cactus here, careful. Beautiful. And here we are. Buck down. Now what I'm going to do is, again, this is 2.5 hours later. I'm going to change the setting so that you guys can see. I can clearly see the deer here. But that way you could see it in different colors. So we're going red, still producing plenty of heat. I put it in that hot pink, hot orange color. Clearly see it. The hot white. And my favorite, the hot black. Perfect. And the other little doohickey that I wanted to share with you guys is the previously known Arken Zulus, now known as the DNT Zulus. It's a night and day scope. Check it out. Now I do want to apologize. My initial intention for this video was to show you a hunting video, but it was my first time using these two items, so you know, I made some mistakes. There is a record button right here. This does record, and it is, by the way, before I forget, a laser rangefinder model. But when I would hit the record button, for whatever reason, it would only give me 12 seconds of recording. So I was getting familiar with it. Sadly, I didn't record the shots. But towards the end of my hunt, I figured out how to record for longer periods of time, and that's the footage that you guys are going to see. Take a look at that. Now, I do want to add that in that footage, I didn't purchase an additional torch to illuminate the objects or the animals a little bit better. I do want to save up and get myself one in the future. But what you saw was using the existing IR torch, which is 850. That comes with the unit, and I thought out to 125 yards, which was some of the deer that you saw. In fact, if you really focus on the video, you could see some eyes glowing past 150, getting close to 200 yards in the background, and that was just with the stock illuminator, which I was very impressed with. Now, the footage you're about to see was the 12-second segments that I was telling you about when I was trying to figure out how to use a record button. But in those little segments, you'll see I was using the rangefinder, and with all my data plugged in for this specific air gun, it showed me where my holdover was, which was amazing. I didn't have to pull out an additional rangefinder to know where I got a holdover, nor did I have to have it memorize what my holdover was at those distances. I just pushed the rangefinder button, which is right there, and it gave me my holdover. Awesome feature on this unit. I absolutely loved it. But take a look at what I'm talking about. I hope you guys found this video useful. Now, are they the best products in the industry? No, there's other items, right? But you're also spending a lot more money than these two items that I presented today. These are both sub $1,000 items that the average Joe like myself can save up and afford. I did pay full price for it. I'm not sponsored by either company, so I did pay full price, but I wanted to share these things with you just because as an avid hunter, I found them to be essential tools for the kind of hunting that I was doing. And again, I hope you guys found it useful. Stick around for some more videos in the future, and I'll see you then.